What do you think about this theme? So I think it's a stretch. The arguments are just not there. Hey, did you just move? Are you alive? I'm pretty sure I know who that is. You are alive! That's good. No, that's great!
It means there's still hope for me to escape yet.
Rise and shine, Toric! I'm thrilled to see you again, especially now I seem to have developed my own problems rather than just getting caught up in yours. Mec Han'ic, what are you doing here? I thought you were on the Orion? Why is this a question? This is a question, but this isn't. You. I'm gonna go with two. You. I see you haven't forgotten your good friend Mec Han'ic. It seems misfortune follows us both around. I'm as stuck here as you are. Weren't you supposed to be on the Orion? I'm guessing your captaincy on the Orion wasn't quite as successful as you would have hoped for? Yeah, totally the second. Mocking him as well? I'm the best captain on the Orion has ever had, and don't you forget it. Or the Orion has ever had. What happened? This isn't the time for games. What happened? Don't waste my time. What happened? See, when you preface "don't waste my time" with "waste my time" instead of getting to the point, it sounds like you're wasting your own time. What happened? After we parted ways, I decided to set course for my most favorite place in the entire galaxy, Nar Shaddaa.
Yet unfortunately, once I had arrived at my most favorite destination, it wasn't as pleased to see me as I was to see it.
And so before I could even say Giska, the Orion was swarmed by thugs of all shapes and all sizes, each wanting to get a piece of my ship.
It didn't take them long to knock me unconscious and then drag me off to who knows where. I figured I was done for, but I figured wrong.
They released you? You were rescued? They released you? When I finally awoke, the thugs who had captured me were still there, but in fewer pieces. Then a man showed up with a lightsaber in hand. He said his name was Darius Solomon, and that he was a Jedi Master.
Given my recent positive experience with Jedi, I figured he was trustworthy and so told him everything. I told him about Serra Degana and how we found her floating dead, just off the Arroyo sector. I told him about how she invaded the Formidable and killed a Jedi named Telana. And most importantly, I told him that out of all the people in the galaxy, Darth Revan himself showed up, out of nowhere, to rescue me from the Brotherhood of Shadow.
You couldn't have known of his intentions. You fool, Solomon's the enemy! Yeah, he couldn't have known, but he also could have not blabbered all about everything to everyone. But he thought he's a Jedi. Well, anyway, it's still a limited trust rule for everything. You fool, Solomon is the enemy!
They say Jedi aren't supposed to get angry, but this Solomon guy definitely wasn't in the best of moods when he learned that Serra Degana had left the Orion with you. Though it can't have been all that bad, as he soon requested that I take him aboard the Orion so he can inspect what remained of the Brotherhood of Shadows artifact. I couldn't really see why he would be interested in a pile of rubble, though it was good enough to keep him occupied for the next few days. Beyond that, I can't remember a damn thing. When I awoke, I was in this temple, in some strange room with talons coming out of the floor. Solomon was there too, speaking aloud in what seemed to be a ritual of some kind. I wasn't exactly quite all there at the time, but I did catch the reference to something he called the Code of the Shadow. I think you've been through the same ritual as well.
That's 2 words.
Although I doubt you will remember, as you were still unconscious.
Solomon performed a ritual on me. I have a bad feeling about this. Well, yeah, he did. He just told you that he did. I have a bad feeling. Of course, this won't matter, so I'm gonna say, what kind of ritual? Tell me all about it.
I have a feeling he intends to perform this ritual on all of us, which would explain why Serra Degana isn't currently amongst us. I guess it's her turn or something.
Oh, my head. This kind of pain brings back memories. I haven't felt this bad since Figaro 6, and that's saying something. What is this, some sort of reunion? Mec Han'ic, what are you doing here? Aren't you supposed to be on the Orion, doing what mechanics do and fixing things?
Kobayashi, it's a long story, so I'll just skip right to the end and tell you that everyone on the Orion ends up dead.
That's great. That really is. You're joking, right? Please tell me you're joking.
Cheer up, it's not all bad news. I'm now the Orion's captain.
I knew things were going to get worse once I left with Captain Drexel after the mutiny, but not this bad. His successor must have been one lousy captain.
If we don't... Oh, right, a thing. He gets up and starts quipping. Were you expecting to have an audience, or do you just actually have this condition where you can't keep your thoughts in your head and you just have to blurt them out? Fucking comedian. If we don't find a way out of this place, we will soon be joining them. Save the grieving for later, we need to get out of here.
Where is Sarah Dagana? Last thing I remember, she was confronting Solomon. I don't like him. He knows more about me than he has any right to.
That's the wrong two, of course, as usual. She's with Solomon somewhere within this temple. Before we rescue her, we first must rescue ourselves. Yeah, obviously. So, the second. I'm considering, like, because this was all for the audience. Like, who is Sarah Dagana speaking to? Solomon? Revan? Us? We don't know. She's apparently not only do we not clearly know that we've influenced all her choices, all her life choices, or at least the important ones, or at least the last ones. I would think of her as disposable, considering that I also have HK-47, which is a better assassin than her. But no, we kind of want the sex slave, but one way or another, you can't be too. What's the word that I'm looking for? Courteous. Kind. You can't be too kind to your slave. Before we rescue her, we first must rescue ourselves.
Wait just a minute, Jedi. First, I want some answers. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth!
Dagana is a dark Jedi. That I already know, but not just an ordinary dark Jedi. There's something special about her, isn't there?
Not really.
The same could be said about you. There's a secret you're hiding. You're not just another Jedi, are you? How does a Jedi become so friendly with a dark Jedi? Why are all the crew members on the Orion dead? And who is this Solomon guy? And why does he have such an interest in Sarah Dagana?
So many questions. Only 2 lines to answer all of them. Yes, you won't like the answers, trust me. The truth will be difficult to accept, so be prepared. I'm all about the truth, I'll tell you. You just assumed things. I just didn't bother getting you out of your own errors. Or something like that. Clarifying your own mistakes, something like that. The truth will be difficult to accept, so be prepared.
Bad news and me go way back. I'm used to dealing with it.
And then we somehow explained it.
I take it back. I take it back. I'm used to dealing with bad news, but this is on a whole different level.
We couldn't have chosen
You're
lines.
Revan? The same Revan who defeated the Mandalorians? Who betrayed the Republic and created the Sith Empire? How is that possible?
I'm just that good. Right, that would have been the perfect opportunity, because this is the present, and we can roleplay what we want to convey to him, what we want to say, whether we want to lie or tell the truth. Well, we're kind of locked into the truth, but we can still say less or more, and be kind or cold to him. There would have been an opportunity. There would have been an opportunity to roleplay, to give us force alignment, and to have him react somehow to what we said, instead of cutting to black. Because we're not the main character of this game. Sarah Dagana is. Chana May is. Matilda is. All her identities are. Yeah, I was betrayed by my former apprentice Malak. Although I survived, my mind was severely damaged and I remember nothing. Oh yeah, totally give him very key information that he totally deserves. The details aren't important. You just know that I survived.
What of this Brotherhood of Shadow? You say there's some kind of ancient Sith cult? And they were the ones responsible for killing the crew members of the Orion?
Yeah, basically. The Brotherhood of Shadow is a very grave threat. I thought I had destroyed them, but it seems they have somehow survived. Obviously, right? Poses a grave threat to me and must be destroyed. Yes, it's all about me. You're not gonna take that away from me. The Brotherhood of Shadow poses a grave threat to me and must be destroyed.
And Sarah Dagana, or the person I had come to know as Sarah Dagana.
It's just
everything
labels,
you said
man.
about her true? Was she really your personal assassin? Is she really responsible for the deaths of so many people?
Alright, stop. Why are you asking me this again? We cut to black because I did explain everything. And we're still getting 2 lines that hardly get us to roleplay match. Why did we cut to black again? Yes, everything about her is true. She was my shadow, a hand-picked, highly trained personal assassin.
This Jedi, this Solomon. So, he was once Sarah Dagana's Jedi Master before you turned her into a Sith. But then maybe the Solomon doesn't want to hurt Sarah Dagana after all. Maybe he just wants to bring her back to the Jedi.
You're thinking too highly of Solomon right now. Have you noticed what situation we are in? Do you think that's how Jedi act? Put us in red, evil force cages to perform rituals on us? What a sheeple. Whatever misconception you may have about Solomon, cast them aside. He intends to resurrect the Brotherhood of Shadow, and we must not allow this to happen. Good intentions or not, Solomon is a dangerous man. He intends to resurrect the Brotherhood of Shadow. Misconceptions, yes, that's definitely the better and more accurate line.
Considering you are the former Dark Lord of the Sith, don't take it too personal if I don't completely trust you, okay?
There should be a
But
comma.
one thing's for certain, we can't let Solomon resurrect this Brotherhood of Shadow. I won't allow what happened on the Orion to be repeated.
What is it with you, Kobayashi? You're still all talk and no action. We're stuck in these force cages, and unless you have any bright ideas for
What about
deactivating
you?
them,
You're
keep your
a mechanic,
mouth
aren't you?
shut!
Don't you have any ideas on how to deactivate a force cage from the inside or something?
To be blunt, not a one. Though considering how much of my time on the Orion was spent fixing your stupid
That
droid,
stupid
I'm
droid
not
has a
surprised.
name. He's called Mec Han'ic. You just gave me an idea.
Yeah, call your droid. Have you got your phone on you? Haven't we been stripped to our undies? What have you got in mind? An idea. Seriously, I figured it out. It's not like a low bar, but I see through it. Wouldn't you? Do we really need to ask? Couldn't we have the line, "You're right, call, Verbal," that was his name. Call Verbal, but how? You're gonna... Like, we can question this. Here's an opportunity. What idea and how are you gonna accomplish this? If you think that the audience or the player wouldn't be smart enough to figure it out, you can keep it vague and just have the question, because there would be fucking holy shit. There would be an unspoken understanding between those two, right? Because we know, and we're just gonna skip the step of, oh, I know, verbal, but how will we accomplish that? We can just go straight to, how are you gonna call him? You've got nothing on you. So, let's substitute what I said under an idea.
Verbal. He's still waiting for us outside the temple, remember? If I can get in contact with him, he might be able to make his way to this room and then deactivate the force cages for us.
Yeah, so, how do you contact here outside the temple? Yeah. Can we, cut. Scene gone. This is what we're going to straight up. How do you plan to contact him? He's outside the temple and we are trapped here.
When I traveled on the Orion, the folk and places we visited weren't always friendly to outsiders. After you've spent a few nights in a prison cell next to what remains of the last guy who made your mistake, you'll learn a thing or two about the importance of having a backup plan if things don't go your way.
Have you got the
Here's
communicator
something
up your
for a
ass?
situation like this. This device will allow me to communicate with another using a special untraceable signal. And naturally, attached to Verbal's frame is a receiver for that signal. This should allow me to open a channel of communication between us. Pretty clever, huh?
What device and where was it? You fucking prisoner? The GE3 isn't exactly the most enduring of models. How will Verbal make it here in one piece? Well, we technically killed everything on the way. I hardly remember what was there to kill, but it's definitely dead if there was. There's no telling what lingers within this temple. Can your droid defend itself? We're gonna go with that. It's more... I like it more.
If Verbal stays out of sight, he might be able to get here without causing a commotion. His legs have been modified to grant him an increased speed of movement.
Oh yeah, I saw his speed of movement, yes.
Favorable.
I can't say I'm really that comfortable with placing my fate in the hands of Kobayashi's droid.
Stealth, not necessarily. We're gonna control verbal. Untraceable signal, that hardly matters. Do you think someone is now tracing signals, considering that he thinks that he stripped you of everything, and yet you have a radio broadcaster or broadcast radio device? Modified. What was it that I wanted to say? We place our trust in you, Kobayashi. Do not let us down. It's not like we have much of a choice. I hope you succeed for your own sake, Arcanian. Right, now I know. The two lines previously to this one, they were the same, of course. No roleplay. We place our trust in you, Kobayashi. Do not let us down. It's not like we have much of a choice. I hope you succeed for your own sake, Arcanian. Yeah, we don't have much of a choice, but we might have choices. And it's not like we shouldn't try that either way. But of course we're gonna go with threats. I hope you succeed for your own sake, Arcanian.
Don't worry. I have no plans on leaving Sarah Dagana in this place by herself, and intend to do whatever I can to rescue her. Verbal, come in, over. Verbal, come in. Do you respond, over. Verbal, come in. Answer me, you stupid droid. Verbal, come in, over. Verbal, come in. Do you respond, over.
Do we hear that from all the way over there?
Verbal, come in. Answer me, you stupid droid.
Master, you startled me again. I thought I had made it perfectly clear that you were to cease such carelessness in the future.
This isn't the time, Verbal. Listen to me.
Where are you scanning?
And we've been imprisoned somewhere within the temple. We need you to rescue us.
Rescue you? But Master, I am a droid programmed to aid in communication and reconnaissance. I do not know how to rescue.
This is reconnaissance.
Verbal,
Don't play
I
stupid.
don't have the time or the patience to argue with you. You need to get yourself into the temple, find us, access a control terminal, and shut down the force cages.
Master, you should know better than to place your trust in a strange computer. How can you determine that this terminal in question is the one responsible for the operation of the force cages?
You determined that, you dumb
Get
bitch.
yourself into the temple and rescue us. But be careful. I have a feeling that some crazies from the residential level will still be around somewhere. Avoid combat at all costs and sneak past anyone between yourself and my location. I'm counting on you, Verbal. Kobayashi out.
I'm definitely gonna test him dying.
Master, when will you ever learn?
He's a communication droid, and he doesn't know the meaning of the word rescue. Right. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Hopefully we will see each other in something I play for you for free. In the meantime, of course, interact with this video and every other video on my channel, preferably by watching and sharing with your friends. Subscribe, and if you don't like the content, it's entirely your fault. And he even has droid monitor sensor type 3 that he can't use. Fantastic. T-pose.